Uh,
All right, I think we are live. Welcome back, everyone, to the next episode of The Raiders Rambles. I'm your temporary chief host, Avera. Here, joining me is our tech support, Orion.
Hello.
All right, and of course, next up we have Noblecon,
Yo yo.
at least, is Beowulf.
Yes, the jack of all trades returns.
Indeed,
That's
master
weird. Your
of
name's
none.
Beowulf, but you're not a wolf.
Yes, I know. Well, it's kind of a throwback.
Ah, okay.
All right, all right. So, how's everyone doing today?
I'm doing fine.
I'm going to be glad when I can get some shoes today.
Okay, Hobbit.
It's alarmingly
Fantastic.
warm for January.
It is. I love global warming. It's great.
Yeah,
Yes, but then it's going to be like 30 degrees in May. So
it's freezing where I am.
Bummer.
It's funny because it's starting to cool off here in Australia.
Oh yeah. Well, because right now here in
Yeah,
the northern hemisphere, we're in the middle of winter. So you're in the middle of what, summer?
Yep. But it's nice, cool day, to be honest.
Oh,
yeah.
fair enough. Well, today was a nice warm day, so I guess you gotta kind of balances it out. Anyways, shall we get into our first topic of the night?
Yes, Miss. Let's go ahead.
All right. Well, as you guys know, wait, what was the first topic again?
Wasn't
we
it
gonna do the-
Pokemon?
Oh,
Yeah,
it was Pokemon. Yeah, okay, yeah, Mewtwo. Yes, the name of the episode, of course.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Netflix is going to be doing a new series, and it's based on the OG Pokemon. So this is interesting.
It's probably going to be utter pure cringe, like most Netflix adaptations.
I mean, I don't know, because the thing is, if you saw Detective Pikachu, the way that they handled the live action Pokemon actually looked pretty good.
yeah, but this looks extremely CGI live action. Like not
Yeah.
good CGI either. Like anime CGI.
So
It-
Uncanny Valley.
Okay, I'm sorry, it wasn't a show, it was a movie. It was a movie.
I've
So-
seen this movie. The humans in it look horrible. The Pokemon look good. It's just a remake of the Pokemon the first movie. That's it. It's
yeah,
nothing
it's called
special.
Yep, it's called Mewtwo Strikes Back. It's going to be on February 27th of 2020, and it's a Netflix exclusive. Whatever that means.
Evolution is also in the title.
Oh, sorry, yeah, a Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Right. Because
Oh
they
my
want to
God.
add that little thingy in there to make it special.
God, that's giving me Dragon Ball Evolution vibes.
Uh,
It looks like a cutscene from a video game. Now, I haven't really seen this too much, but I don't know. It all depends on the writing and the voice acting and of course the music, like how it all kind of coincides together.
it's just a replay of Pokemon the first movie. That's it.
Whoa.
See, that's kind of sad.
It's like flipping Disney with their live action remakes.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they're just trying to milk as much physical money as they can out of everything that they own.
It's like, but one thing I don't get is the fact that they're remaking these movies, but they're putting them in a format which is more difficult and more limited. Like for example, with the Lion King, as a prime example, with the realistic CGI lions, you can't pull the same facial expressions you can pull on, like, a cartoon 2D animation.
No, that was one of the big criticisms of that movie because they did look photorealistic. And they said, "Oh, it's live action." Well, not really, because the backgrounds were CGI, all the characters were CGI. There was
CGI.
nothing live action about it.
Yeah, exactly.
They just looked photorealistic. And granted, they did look real. Like they looked like real animals. But the problem with real animals is they can't emote properly like they could if they were actually animated. You know?
So for me, the whole movie really sort of took it away when Ash was turned to stone.
Yes, that was a major point. Now, I when I first saw that, I thought he actually died. I'm not even sure. Maybe he actually did. I don't know if the
I,
creators confirmed that or not.
I believe that's the actual impression that they were making.
Yeah, and that was like how can you possibly recreate that scene, that dramatic and powerful scene? Like it was beautiful. It really was.
Let me just fire up Imager.
Like even for as old as that movie is, it still has really good image quality.
Oh, it does. It has that like nostalgic type of anime style, and and considering it was a kids movie at the time, there was some pretty deep, powerful messages there. I mean, there
There
was
were.
some significant violence. I mean, people literally died. Remember when Mewtwo blew up the lab and killed basically hundreds of scientists?
Yeah.
That was in the first 5 minutes. Like Jesus.
I just took a screenshot. I need to find it. Sorry. Dates. View sort by date.
So I kind of worry if this new Mewtwo version is going to be, I don't know, like more vanilla. Like it's not going to be as, you know, risky as the original movie actually was.
It's just a total and complete remake of the movie. That's it. They didn't change anything. Everything plays out exactly the same.
Oh, it
Yeah.
does.
Well, they can say that, but there's always something new that they have to force their agenda upon.
Not that
Other
I could
people.
see.
Well, this is the same thing with The Lion King. Like people said, it was not a reboot; it was a remake, which essentially, shot for shot, it was for the most part. But they did cut back on certain things, like Scar's song. Like they cut that down. They did change some things to make it like not as, I don't know. I guess like cut for time or whatever they're trying to do. But yeah, certain things were changed. I just don't know how they're going to possibly recreate that kind of emotion and honestly like artistry of the original movie.
Yeah, the next movie they're remaking is Bambi.
Oh God, no.
No, they're not. Stop this.
Oran, Avira, I posted two image links in the private chat. They're screenshots from the movie.
Copy. Paste.
All right, well, we can screen share that. But wow. So, do you know how old the Pokemon movie is?
I think it came out in 2000. No, that was before 2000. Sorry.
It was. This movie is about 20 years old.
Gosh, older than I am.
Wow.
My God.
No, it'd be older than 20 years old.
Well, I said about 20 years old. Yeah, probably older. I think it's like 22 or 23 years old.
Well, Pokemon came out in, what is it, 95 initially?
95 or 93, I think. 95 sounds familiar. Yeah, it probably came out in 95.
That was the year I was born.
Now, you might want to enlarge
Okay,
the
wow.
image.
Okay, yeah, so here we have Pikachu. Now, like I said, this looks like something out of a video game cutscene. It doesn't look like an actual movie.
It's like they went above and beyond to not make it as photorealistic as possible and kind of give it that old school anime feel. But at the same time, I like that they didn't go completely overboard with the photorealism. But at the same time, it looks like they're made of Play-Doh.
Yeah, right? Yeah, digital Play-Doh. Okay, so Pikachu in Detective Pikachu actually looked pretty cool. At least personally, I thought it came out really good. This one though, like I said, it does kind of look like a cutscene from a video game, but you know what? That doesn't necessarily matter that much because think about Star Wars: The Clone Wars. That was almost in this same type of style.
There was
True.
also a Digimon movie too that was
Oh, there-
really, really bad.
Oh
Digimon,
boy.
digital monsters.
Yeah, Digimon failed because they just failed.
No, this was a poorly done CGI movie.
Oh,
3D.
I remember seeing like the first Digimon movie.
That was actually 3, the one that was released in the West.
One thing I remember is that it featured a track by somebody called Fatboy Slim. That's the only thing I remember from it. Where, like,
Okay.
I think it's like the large T-Rex sort of character was chasing the main character.
Okay. Well, like the effects of a movie aren't necessarily the end all be all. It all depends on, like I said before, the music, the writing, the story, character development. You know, there's many other facets that go into making a good movie. Now,
Yeah,
the effects don't have to be perfect.
No, the effects are kind of a sub thing, but also at the same in the same sentence,
the thing
you
is though,
can't expect effects from 1995 to wow the current crowd, and most people are probably going to give it a bad review because of that.
Yes, that's true. That
yeah,
is
the
true.
thing is
Now,
though, if it's something like a TV series, people tend to be a bit more forgiving.
Yeah,
Did
right,
anyone
because
actually
budget
watch?
wise, yeah.
Did anyone watch the Digimon Series 1?
Yeah, I
Uh,
did.
There was a
I've seen
place.
parts of it.
There was a part of Jurassic Park in there later in the
Really?
series. Yeah, they took a recording from Jurassic Park and used it in the show.
Yeah,
Were they legally allowed to do that?
I'd like to hope they actually got permission, but basically you could hear the kids screaming in the background during a T-Rex attack from Jurassic Park, the first movie.
And they use that in the Digimon movie? Are you kidding me?
Yes, I think they had a bunch of
Wait.
Tyranitar on screen.
Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. So the director himself couldn't muster up 3 seconds to like scream off camera and like edit it to make it sound like someone screaming? Like, really? He
No, I
couldn't
think
do
you can
that?
hear Timmy constantly in the background. Every time you hear a T-Rex roar, you can hear Timmy's name being called. It's like, seriously, what the
Timmy,
hell?
What? Oh,
Timmy.
I've never heard of that before. Oh my goodness. I can't. Really? That's
Yeah,
bonkers.
Yeah, the funny thing is though,
that's a good show, actually.
I heard that the book of Jurassic Park is actually more gruesome than the movie.
Yeah, it is. But like the fact that they used that sound effect in their movie, I find is kind of hilarious. Now, of course, there are certain sound effects and or certain iconic things that a lot of movies use. For instance, the Wilhelm scream. That's in a lot of classic movies. It's kind of like a
A
you
meme.
know, yeah, it's basically a meme between like directors and producers and writers and whatnot. They're like, oh, I'm gonna throw in the Wilhelm scream, in this thing, and let's see how many people find it. It's in like
Yes.
over like 2 dozen movies or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's in the video games too, like Red Dead Redemption,
Of course it is. Yeah, that's great.
and I think I was playing like Halo Reach, and like one of the cutscenes features the Wilhelm scheme.
Oh wow, no kidding. All right. So just some final thoughts here. What do you guys think about this new a remake? Do you think it's going to be successful? Do you think it's going to be as good as the original?
I feel for those who are going for the nostalgic effect, they're going to have to be careful. But if they're not going for nostalgia, the sky's the limit.
Well, what's a very scary thought is we talked about this earlier about just how old this movie is. It's over 20 years old. So kids these days that this movie is targeting, they probably have never seen the original Pokemon movie.
Yeah, the thing is though, interest in Pokemon has been revitalized through things like Pokemon Go and Detective Pikachu.
Yep, that's right. So now, like, if you're like, between the ages of 8 and like 13 years old, which is basically their target audience, you were born several years, almost 10 years after this movie came out, which is kind of a scary thought for me. But I don't know. That's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, like
It was released in Australia in December 1999.
Wow. Yeah, December 19. Yeah, so 20 years ago.
21.
Goodness.
Well, December of 1999. I mean, December just passed, so yeah, 20 years ago in like a month. That's oh my god, that's weird. Because like I remember seeing this in theaters. Like I saw the Pokemon movie.
I own it on VHS.
Yeah, I remember like seeing it, and I can't believe it's been that long. Like it's oh my god.
Yeah, if you want to sit there and think this is going to be like a grand thing, don't. This is the type of thing when you're bored shitless and you want something to watch.
Hey, Noble,
Yeah.
what's your view on Game Freak?
They're horrible.
All right. Do we have any live comments going on right now? Any audience members want to input something before we change to a next topic?
Yeah,
Arctic
I'll
at
show.
777.
Oh, Ice Kid. Okay.
Yeah, that's sort of true. Also, Rebel Yell.
Rebel, Rebel Yell. Yes. All right. So, I guess my final thoughts on this. I'm probably not going to watch this movie because, like, I just have so many fond memories of the original, and this movie's not geared or targeted like towards me. So I'm probably not going to invest the time to like watch this because I'm going to be disappointed.
Well, about a year or two ago, the first 3 movies were re-released on Blu-ray, so you could pick that up if you wanted to.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, there's a new theory about the shape of the Earth in comment section.
Yes, Jack. It is a magical triangle.
Of
It's
pizza
an English
circles.
cipher. Magical triangle. Oh my goodness! I hope Scorch isn't here.
Yeah, we're all gonna get an earful if he is.
Yeah.
All right. So, moving on to topic 2. This is something that we've discussed earlier on our podcast, I believe quite a few months ago, with a mascot called Gritty. Now, for those of you who don't know, Gritty is a mascot for a sports team, the
It's an
Flyers.
abomination.
He is an abomination, yes. He has these, he has like these crazy eyes. It looks like a gnome, like an orange gnome on meth.
What was the Muppets guy, the orange guy?
It's basically Gritty, but Gritty is his retarded cousin on meth. Okay. So this is something that furries notice because, of course, you know, a furry character as a new mascot that's being promoted and, you know, getting some kind of notoriety. Of course, we're going to notice this kind of thing. Unfortunately, one of the weirdest stories in the world of hockey in 2020. This just happened a few days ago. The Philadelphia police are investigating someone made a claim that Gritty actually punched a 13-year-old fan during a meet and greet in November. So I don't know if it was just like the character, like the guy who was in that costume. Maybe he was angry. Maybe he was drunk. Who the hell knows? Maybe he was on meth, like Gritty always seems to be. I don't know.
I kind of read like really briefly through this,
Oh boy.
and it said something that Gritty was like the person inside felt like he's being punched from behind. Either that or it was the kid saying that. I'm not sure. I literally spent just a couple minutes looking through this because it was just like, doesn't matter.
All right.
There's usually humongous brawls that happen at hockey games.
It is. Yes. Well, oh my god. So, who do you think they're going to go after? Are they going to go after the person who was playing that character, or do you think they're going to go after the mascot of the sports team? Because essentially, like, if you're playing this character, you essentially are a representative of that team, right? So, there's a little bit of an obligation there to kind of make a good impression.
I feel they'll probably go after the team because the team's going to have lots of money,
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very
and
good point.
the person in the costume probably won't have money, or at least not a lot of money.
Okay, so you think that their reasoning is going to be, well, you're, someone
You're
working for this team, assaulted
assaulted
someone,
my child, so I'm
Yep.
going to sue you.
and it's your responsibility to make sure that your employees do, such and such. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
That would be my thought.
if that happens, let's say we'll never see the mascot ever again.
If you guys have ever actually seen the mascot, he's really scary. Like oh my god, it looks like an abomination.
Yeah, it looks like something you'd see on a slasher movie.
Oh god.
Kind of.
What, you like
Well-
Jason versus Freddy or something?
Guys, he's like the American Mr. Blobby. Yeah, I'll give you an image of Mr. Blobby.
I really hope this guy's identity gets dragged through the mud. I mean, what the hell? I mean, that's really lowballing punching a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you guys what Mr.
Yeah, but
Blobby looks like.
it could also be that the kid is like, oh, I was getting punched.
Well,
When
he's
in
claiming...
actuality, the mascot was just trying to get his attention.
All right. Well, I have a quote here from the full report. So I'm just going to read the quote that from the email. It says, before I read this, just some context here. But what happened was someone was tapping the mascot on the shoulder from behind, and the person in the costume, I guess he overreacted and thought he was being attacked, turned around and punched him. So it says, quote, after the alleged punch, Greenwell emailed officials at Comcast, first complaining of the lousy picture with the mascot who didn't look at the camera. So he raised the more serious and disappointing concern. He says, I know it was not correct for my son to harmlessly tap him on his head. Oh, sorry, head, not the shoulder. But for a Flyers employee to get sick and throw full punch at someone with his back turned and hurt a 13-year-old boy is assault, unprofessional, and unacceptable for your organization, he wrote. So yes, you're right. He is going after the team because they are negligent about their employees, who apparently are okay with assaulting children. Yikes.
I mean, I feel there's some furries who react worse than that when you are like trying to get their attention. But
oh, yeah. I wonder if this guy was a furry. I mean, think about it. Like, if he's a mascot in this kind of a costume, like he already knows like the memes and all the crazy shit.
Oh,
that's been being talked. Like, he might actually be a furry.
Raider
I'm kinda
thoughts.
Yeah, right? That's some food for thought. But okay, so they claim that there's no video footage of this, but I mean, there's witnesses. There's all of that. Clearly, this event did happen. I mean, if it didn't, it wouldn't as blown up the way it did. It might have just been a mistake. I mean, like,
or it's someone doesn't understand what the actions are, or maybe it was their first time trying out the mascot costume. They're a new hire, and he doesn't understand like how much force is being applied.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because like when I'm in fursuit, some people have like patted me on the head and stuff sometimes, and I didn't punch them, but it does take some greater than average force to like get someone in a costume to like notice you, because like you don't really feel everything all the time.
No, you literally sometimes you don't like feel stuff at all.
No, exactly. Like you're cushioned, you're padded, you're wearing a whole like thick costume. So sometimes, like if someone taps you, you might not feel it. So maybe this kid was trying to get his attention, and this is just my speculation, but maybe he was tapping him, from behind. Maybe he wanted to get a picture, and the guy just didn't feel it, and so the kid was like, maybe nudging him harder, and then the person turned around and thought it was like being attacked or something, and just I don't know, a reflex and hit the kid.
Yeah, or he turned around and didn't intend to actually hit the kid, but he hit him as he was turning around because the kid was 3 inches away from him, like little kids do.
It's a difficult situation.
It is.
But I mean, if I was a 13-year-old kid, I would not approach Gritty. That thing's a fucking creepy monster. Like, I'm sorry, there's no way I would even get close to it.
Yeah, I'd be more confused about what it is.
I'd be like, Daddy, what is that? Take me away from this.
I don't want to be here. Why are you taking me closer to it? I don't want to be here.
It's staring into my soul.
I thought kids more screamed at the top of their lungs when they saw something they didn't like.
Not always. Sometimes they just walk up and they just don't know what to do.
Like frozen in place. I mean, like if you've seen like what Gritty looks like. I mean, I thought it was a joke at first when I first saw this thing. I'm like, there's no way that's an actual mascot. Turns out
What's
it was.
wrong?
The bugs. The bugs on this
Just
website.
the way Gritty looks itself. Like, it's just really creepy.
It is. It's very unnerving.
Yeah, it's probably a great Halloween costume.
You kind of have to think, what on earth were they doing when they came up with this character?
No.
Meth.
What on earth were they smoking or drinking, or what the hell were they on when they thought him up?
Meth.
Yeah.
All of the meth.
I can possibly agree with that. Because they were on something. They were on something that they shouldn't have been on. Maybe some LSD and some orange soda when they shook it.
Oh my god. Wait, they could have just went with something, simple and easy, like, I don't know, a wolf or a dog or hell, even a dragon. Just something recognizable, not this Muppets
Not an
abomination.
orange thing.
No,
What about a snow fox? Sorry, Arctic fox.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Why
Yeah,
not?
sure. Why not? You might have to change the name of the team, but whatever.
Or they're called the Flyers, right? So it could be a bird.
A bird.
Sure, like a robin, or I don't know, a cardinal, or whatever.
Penguin.
Shell, even. Well, oh, wait a minute. Penguins don't fly.
I got nothing.
Well, all right. Do we have any live comments going on right now?
Boxcar, the husky.
Yes. What is he saying?
A creepy one.
Yes. Agreed. Orion, are you there? Are you back?
I would take that as a no.
I would take that as a no. I do not hear you. Hopefully you can hear us, though.
Inioki, I think it's you pronounce his name. At Furry Raiders, or maybe a 13-year-old kid was being a real jerk, as lots of 13-year-old kids are, because it's funny to screw with mascots.
And got what he deserved. Yeah, I could agree with that.
I mean, if that was his intention, maybe he was like one of those middle school bullies who just wanted to mess around with the guy. I don't know. But, like, I still don't think that punching children is, like, okay. If that's what happened. It's a little bit of a little complicated situation, I'm assuming.
I had to push a child away from me once.
It's also a hockey game. There is, alcohol everywhere. So it's very possible that everyone was drunk, and drunk parents become super protective for some reason.
And super violent.
Yes.
Like, you're hurting my kid? I'll go.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
The worst thing I've had to do is push a child away. All I did was grab him by the shoulders and just pushed him away from me, and
Oh, I'm sure that raised some heck.
Yeah, this was family, so it
Well,
took a couple of hours. But when everything calmed down, I explained what the little brat was doing with the can of air. Well, you know that air spray stuff you have in the bathroom to make the smell go away.
oh yeah, like some air fresheners.
Yeah, he thought it'd be a great idea to spray that on me while I was eating my breakfast.
What?
I mean,
Wow.
that sounds like a kid thing.
Yeah,
That's so stupid. Now look, I don't hate kids because like I'm not some heartless monster, but I have very little patience and I get annoyed very easily. So I would rather not be around one of them if they're doing something like that because I will get angry. Now I'm not saying I'm gonna hurt them or anything, but ugh, no, I just fuck that. I mean that's so stupid.
But that's the
no,
mentality
that's
of kids. That's
unnecessary.
the problem. They're
No,
like, what
and
can
you
I?
know what though? I've actually had a similar situation. I remember when I was fursuiting in public one day. This is like last year. Um, a group of kids like came up to me and they started like harassing me. Essentially, I was at a park, and I was me and my friend were walking around, and there was like three kids. Maybe they're like I don't know 12 or something, and yeah, they just would not leave us the hell alone. Now, thankfully, they didn't like try to pull on our tails or anything and like destroy our fursuits, but like. But we see this a lot, actually. Like, there's a lot of YouTube videos about fursuiters in public that get harassed by people, and a lot of them are just derpy kids that just want to have a laugh and whatnot, and just make fun of something. I guess that's what they do. I don't know if that's what this person was doing in that situation with Gritty, or maybe he just genuinely wanted to get his attention. Maybe just take a photo or something. Who knows? But the fact that
I feel this is something that may end up going under something like r/entitled parents.
I don't know, but like the thing is, like, there is a lawsuit going on now. Like, there is an investigation of this employee, and of course, the family of the kids. Like the victim, like they're trying to, extort money from this team. Maybe this was staged.
Yeah, that's something you always have to keep in mind anymore.
I mean, like it could be a possibility. Like, hey, mommy says, hey, little Jimmy, go, harass this guy and get him mad at you. He happens to be a mascot for a team with millions of dollars.
We'll get you the PS5 that you want.
Yeah, right. Yeah, entice him, and then the kid goes over, harasses this guy, and eventually he just gets so pissed off he just turns around and punches the lights out of him, and it's like, oh shit. Well, now what? Oh well, now the family can sue you. Oh, thanks, Jimmy. Oh, you have a little, little bruised eye there. That's okay. Here's
That's
your
okay.
PS5.
Here's
Now
your
we're gonna be
PlayStation
millionaires.
5.
Ha ha ha.
We're gonna make buttloads of money.
Oh my god. I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm not saying it's not what couldn't have happened.
Yeah, that's the thing with like how sue happy people are anymore. It's just like, oh well, you did one tiny little thing wrong. I'm gonna take it completely the wrong way, and I'm gonna sue you for everything you're worth.
It's happened a lot, and there's even crazier people out there that will do things for lawsuit money, like especially in Russia. Like
Oh
there
yeah,
are people who like that's why they all have dash cams, because people will jump in front of cars to get hit on purpose and say that they were hit by this person driving a car just to get the insurance money.
I
yeah.
thought that was only a Chinese thing.
No, that's
well, it's in Russia. Primarily, that's where it started.
that's another reason why like modern day semi trucks. If you go and like get a new one, they have dash cams that record 24/7 and automatically activate when you like hit your brakes really hard, and they record the past 3 minutes and 3 minutes into the future.
Huh,
Because
yeah,
people
that makes sense.
brake check semis, and in traffic court, this is something that terrified me when I was driving semis. Was that if someone slams on their brakes and causes you to rear end them, it's the truck driver's fault 99% of the time. They don't even like look into the actual evidence. It's the truck driver's fault.
Yes. All right. So
We got way off topic.
Any final, that's fine. Any final thoughts on this issue?
None I can think of.
Neither can I.
All right. Well, I suppose we said all we had to say about that. So let's check out some live comments by some people. Anything?
777 Ice Kitsune. That's okay. You can hire us to sue.
Someone's butt off, and we'll get paid while you just get a lollipop. That's like legal 101. Oh, I
No.
made
Yeah, really.
I made $100,000 off this case. What did your client get? Like $10.
The rabbit.
Yikes. Oh yes, native. All right, so moving on to our next topic, and this is kind of a serious one, but it's something that almost restores my faith in humanity. Recently, there was a con called, well, abbreviated FurCon, and this was covered by mainstream news. Actually, CBS, ABC, and even CNN wrote an article about this. This is when a group of furries at a convention stopped an assault that was going on the streets. So, just a little context here. There was someone who was riding in an Uber, and they had a female driver, and this person who was the passenger became belligerent and started throwing punches and just being extremely belligerent towards the Uber driver. And a group of furries actually stopped him from attacking her. I believe there were 3 people involved, maybe 4. And some of them, one guy was even like in a fursuit, like he didn't have his head on, but whatever.
2 of them were.
Yeah, 2 of them were. So they actually stopped this guy from throwing punches at this girl, held him down until the police came, and then the police arrested him on charges of assault and battery. Now, the thing about this is that this is something where obviously violence can't be tolerated like that. That's just not the appropriate way to deal with a situation. This person had a disagreement with his driver. I'm not sure over what. It might have been about the cost of the ride. I don't know. But yeah, a bunch of furries came together and stopped someone from being assaulted. And they didn't hurt the attacker, or at least not significantly, but they did eventually stop it. So I think like that kind of shows a good
I mean,
humanity level.
let's be honest. You're not going to really hurt anyone with fursuit paws on.
Yeah, it's kind of like when SpongeBob was being punched by Flats. It was like punching like a squeaky, fluffy thing.
It just squeak, 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 squeak. I can just imagine if they had squeaky paws too.
Oh my god! Can you
Squeak,
imagine
squeak,
how
squeak,
weird?
squeak.
But like the thing is like that's only half of a joke though, because like that's a total possibility.
It really is.
Yeah, like that could actually have happened. Like they're squeaking as they're trying to take this guy down. Oh, bro, that's kind of fucked.
I like the fact they actually sat on him, because that is the right move to do.
Yeah.
You can
Well, yeah,
restrain someone.
Right. Now, I didn't look too much into this because like I don't know if the attacker himself was actually a furry, or if he was just some guy who was attacking this driver. But what I do know is a bunch of furries came together and saw what was happening. That he was going to, significantly harm this girl, and they stopped it. So, I do think that that's a good thing.
The more important part is they also did call the police and wait for them.
Yes, as they should have. Absolutely. Yep. So the police came. They arrested the guy. Like I said, charges of assault and battery. The girl is all right. A little bit, obviously traumatized, understandably. But yeah, the guys involved that did this, good for you guys. Seriously.
Thank you.
Way to take up the initiative. Okay, so like, what would you have done in that situation? Like, let's say you were outside of a convention hotel, and you saw some fight going on. I mean, would you get involved? Would you call the police? Would you just walk away?
I
Uh,
would I mean, it's really hard to say because when you see something like that going on, your first instinct is to kind of, well, what's going on? What should I do?
Mhm.
Like I've never really been a mediator in fights
Mhm.
because it's just I don't get involved. It's not what I do. I probably wouldn't get involved. It's just not what I do. So I
Okay.
guess that's what I would say.
See, I don't know if I would either, and I'm just being practical about this because, like, I'm not the largest or strongest person in the world. I feel like I would probably just get in harm's way and just escalate the situation if I were to get involved. So what I would probably do is I would probably just alert the authorities. But I don't know. Then again, though, like if I literally saw some guy like beating on some girl, I couldn't not do something. You know, like
Yeah,
I feel like instinct would take over, and like I have to do something.
yeah. I agree to that.
I would probably get like a friend of mine and be like, "Yo, like let stop this! Like what the fuck?" Because like I'm not gonna be able to fight him, but like maybe both of us could. You know, maybe. It all depends on like how big he is and like what the situation is, like the circumstances that led to it. But yeah, I feel like I couldn't just walk away, and I know a lot of people do that, and there's some kind of like term in psychology about that. I think it's like the bystander effect or something. But no, like I would feel kind of conflicted, you know. Like I don't know these people, but should
I don't know
I?
these people. I don't know what I should be doing. Should I break this up? Should I just let it keep happening? What should I do?
Well, whatever the case is, whoever these people are, and hopefully I can contact them in the future, which I do plan on doing. You know, like to get their perspective of things. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, good for them. All right, so any other comments from the audience about this? You guys have any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
Ice Kitsune, I would have broke it up.
All right. Well, all right. The fourth topic then, and this is a weird one. I mean, it's a it's pretty freaking weird. This has to do with pig bungee jumping, which was recently released from China. Videos of pigs attached to bungee cords being thrown off of very high elevation. And the internet, reacted and freaked out and said that this was animal abuse.
I'd have to agree with that.
Really?
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, now my perception, I don't think it's animal abuse, honestly, but like, so why do you think it's not?
Well, a pig was strapped to a pretty long bit of rope and then thrown off a high point. I mean,
Yes.
that's not something you should do to an animal.
Well, no. No, it is not. No, but I don't know if it's abuse, though. Because the animal was safe. Like, yeah, sure, it might have been mentally traumatic for the. I don't even know how to describe this. I'm not defending these actions because honestly, I just think that these actions were reckless to begin with. It was obviously a publicity stunt. It was some, nonsensical, stupid thing that they were trying to do.
But I mean, it's China. Chinese aren't exactly known for being ethical or
Especially
caring.
when it comes to animals. Absolutely not. I mean, okay, so this was about pigs, being thrown off of, very high points in bungee jumping. It was, of course, meant to be fun and whatnot. But you have to consider how the Chinese view other animals. For instance, I don't know, cats and dogs.
Food.
Yeah.
I found out that
Yeah.
apparently kids in China, when their pets go missing, they freak out because they think someone's eaten them.
Yes, I've heard of that. And their fears are not unfounded. Because that does happen. In fact, I forgot what the name of the province was, where they have their dog meat festival every year. What happens is the weeks before that, they have people that they go patrolling around the suburbs and steal pets to sell them on the black market dog meat. Like, that's what they do. Kind of
Yeah.
scary.
I mean, oh, where'd Fido go? This chow mein doesn't taste quite right. I wonder why.
Oh, God.
Oh
What's this
no.
piece of
Lassie,
metal?
is that
Oh
you?
no, it's my dog's collar.
Oh Jesus. Oh my goodness, no. Oh, can you imagine? Like, oh my god. Now, I've seen some videos of what they do in China to not only just the pigs that they're throwing off of balconies. Granted, they do have harnesses and they don't mean to kill them. It's kind of just like a fun little thing that they do. A little creepy, but okay.
Well, yeah.
But Jesus though, like the things that they do to puppies, like, oh, I just can't. Like, it's really sad.
It like legitimately makes me want to figure out how to inflict the same pain they're inflicting on them. Because
All I can say is
it's not right. It's not right at all.
this
Yes.
wouldn't go down so well in Australia.
This wouldn't go down in like civilized countries. No,
In any
of
other
course
country in the
not.
world.
Oh my goodness, no! But like they keep like these poor little puppies in cages, and then they skin them while they're alive. I mean, like, bro, like it gets really messed up, like what they do over there. Like this whole pig bungee jumping thing, that's like the tip of the iceberg. Like that's nothing compared to like how else they treat animals over there in China. Like it's small beans.
Yeah, it's like nada, nothing.
Well, that or even how they treat people there, but that's a whole different story.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Any comments from the audience? What do you guys think? Like, is pig bungee jumping just like a fun thing to do, or is it actually abuse? And should the people involved in this should they have deserved the flack that they've gotten from the internet, like the backlash? Because I don't know. I think like they kind of do deserve it, but not as bad as they got it. They did try their best to make sure that the pigs were safe and that they're going to live and not be harmed when they did this little stunt. It's not like they were trying to kill them, because they weren't.
Not yet, at least.
Well, not yet. I mean, well, a lot of people eat bacon. I'm just saying.
Bacon.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
the difference between properly slaughtering an animal and potentially sending it flying off a cliff is two different things.
The difference
Yeah, you're
between
right.
properly slaughtering and giving it a heart attack.
Okay, yeah, sure. You're right, but like, nope, you're right. Probably not the best thing to do. Oh man, China's crazy. You know they eat bats over there.
Huh.
Yeah, it's called bat soup. Like they take an entire bat and boil it and like eat it, and they consider it a delicacy.
Duck intestines.
Yeah, some scary
Deep
stuff going on.
fried.
Well, it kind of has to do with the whole coronavirus going on. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
saw
no, not that.
Oh yeah, dude. Yep, in China. That's where it came from. Some crazy bonkers stuff. Doesn't really have anything to do with throwing pigs off a cliff, but but like they do not care about animals over there in China. Like they really don't. Maybe the panda. Maybe they care about the panda because
That's
the whole
about
national
the
symbol
only
thing.
thing that they care about, and whatever lunar year it is.
Oh yeah. Oh. By the way, guys. Did you
Happy
know
Year
that
of the Rat.
tomorrow, yes, is the first day of the Chinese lunar year of the Year of the Rat? So yay.
Any rat sonas out there, you might be safe in China
Well, at least for this year, yeah, sure.
for the next 365 days.
You're right. Yeah, right. Okay. Actually, one of my friends has a pet rat, and my sister owns 2 rats. They're actually really cute. Like they're super smart, and they're kind of like hamsters, only with long tails.
Yeah, like rats are crazy smart.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, rats are cool.
I used to know someone who had a pet rat. He brought it over to my place a couple of times.
Aw.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I guess it's like that whole connotation of maybe this stems from like the whole Black Plague, hysteria back in the day when everyone just thinks that rats are terrible. Like, there's a lot of people that are like afraid of mice and afraid of rats, and I'm like, really? They're like super harmless. Like, I'd be more afraid of like a black widow.
I mean, it's
I don't know,
probably for
tigers.
a rat that you know where it's been, kind of thing. Like it's been in a cage, not a wild rat.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I mean, I love raccoons. I think that they're super cute and adorable. But I wouldn't want to like pet a wild raccoon because I don't know if it has like rabies or who knows what. No, like
Yeah.
Or if it'll bite.
well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like who knows? But all right, guys. I think we're approaching the end of this right now. But there was one other thing that I wanted to bring up. Now, I'm not sure who this person is, but it was someone who had recently passed away. You guys know who I'm talking about?
No, I'm afraid not.
Not off the top of my head now.
It has to do with Dragon Ball Z. I believe he was like a voice actor.
Him.
I know Orion wanted to bring this up, but Orion is not available at the moment. He had more details about this. I believe it was a pretty significant character from Dragon Ball Z. Hell, it might have even been the guy who played Goku. I'm not sure. But
I haven't heard anything.
all right, fair enough. Well,
Granted, that doesn't mean much because I don't really, exist on the internet very much anymore.
Bruce Armstrong died at 84 4 days ago.
Ah, okay, Bruce Armstrong. Now, wait a minute. Was he involved in Dragon Ball Z at all?
Dragon Ball Z. Looks like he played a couple of the villains. He was also in He's also voiced between Star Wars, James Earl. I don't know what that is. So no, it's actually quite a. Yeah, he was.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh, he's the narrator for the Dragon Ball Z TV shows.
Oh really?
Yes. Oh, I didn't
Okay.
notice that. There's also Yu Yu Hakusho, Lupin the Third, and Case Closed.
Wow. Well, may he rest in peace.
Dearly.
Wow. All right. All right, audience. Any last-minute comments or questions, concerns?
Just something on that last thing. I'll post it in private chat to put it on the screen. It's actually rather interesting. The voice actor behind Darth Vader said, "I wish I had your vocal controls."
Okay.
Now that's an accomplishment considering Darth Vader's, meme status.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think this just about wraps it up for tonight. All right. So,
All right.
might I just say, you can find our podcast on YouTube, of course, Apple Play Store. No, sorry, Apple, Google Play Store, Stitcher, and Podbeam, and of course, many more to come. Now, any last statements from Noble?
Nope.
All right. Beowulf?
I don't have a whole lot. I'm getting some things sorted for my cons for this year, and I'm hoping to make it to. I think 3 are on my radar this year.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
One of which is in an ex-steel town, I believe.
All right. Well, that sounds awesome. As for me, I hope you guys had a great night. Thank you all for listening, and we shall see you next week, hopefully with less technological difficulties. All right. This is us signing off.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Are we still live? Hey, Vire, are we still live or?
Uh-oh. Technical difficulty.